Testing. And like always, I got to check on my end. And volume's coming in good. Cool. All right. And per usual, share the crap out of this. Wish I could share to more platforms than this. Alrighty. Hopefully, being that it's later in the day, hopefully there'll be more people. Why would I share to WhatsApp? Why is that? Why is it the third option? That's weird. It just seems weird to me. Hey Jay, how are you? All right. Yeah, a lot of these are just weird options. So first off, got some blue LED lights. Well, I mean, they're LED lights and they just have the blue gel on them. Right here. Trying to work on this. If this is going to be more regular, trying to work on some presentation. Hiya chat. Hiya Timmy. Hello. Moxie versus games. Ooh, interesting. I'm assuming a gamer. I can't. I really wish I could click on those. You know, I wish I could click on that and go to someone's channel or someone's profile, but I can't. But there it is. I would check that out later. Big Apple voiceover. New York, Big Apple. Greetings. Looks great. Thank you. So I wanted to talk about a few things. First off, again, I apologize for my skin. My skin is always terrible. It's actually another thing that happens when I work out. So if I work out, I get more disgusting as far as my skin. But if I don't work out, I get more disgusting as far as there's more skin. So, you know, what you gonna do? I had recorded some videos to go up today, but I did a gig yesterday and then was tired. And then today I had a writer's meeting for, it was just basically just me and one other person, but it was all about writing. It was all about the episodes and the scripts and kind of the story. And I penned up the entire, all the episodes and their summary and their outlines and breakdowns on a corkboard. We talked about it and kind of some expectations and some things that we'd like to see. Oh, it's all the way over there. Whatever. Oh, can you see the cat behind me? Right there. Okay. This guy right here. Just napping. So yeah. You got it. New York City. I'm in the house. Tim, you are a true inspiration to. Oh, thank you. Well, thank you. I am glad. But yeah, so did a writers meeting about a project, and I realized, and this was kind of something that I'd already realized, but it was kind of something that I fleshed out, that the way, so the project that I'm working on that I talked about in previous live streams, previous episodes, is about sci-fi and time travel, and it's very hard to find other writers that will write time travel the way I write it, because everyone has kind of this flawed idea of time travel and kind of like how it works. Like if you look at things like Back to the Future, which is a great movie, all of them are great movies, but the idea how time travel works in that is really nonsensical, because there's a whole bunch of things that you can't have at the same time. You can have linear time with paradoxes, and as well as multiverse with parallel timelines where the timeline splits. You can't have both of those. But in Back to the Future, you have both of those. And it's insane. And almost everybody writes sci-fi the exact same. time travel and sci-fi the exact same way. They write it where they try to have both, and you can only have one or the other. So I'm trying to focus on the parallel because I've never liked paradox. It's stupid. So my thing is parallel, but it's not infinite parallel. So trying working out that kind of stuff. And the episode that we were talking about and kind of like really dissecting, because I've kind of more or less polished the first episode to a point where it's pretty good. And so the second episode has kind of an info dump in it, kind of explaining the rules and kind of backstory to a main character. And it's really exposition heavy, which is something that I personally hate. But due to the fact that this was kind of, I wanted to set the ground rules for what this character could do and couldn't do. Uh, we're trying to fine tune it to where it's not just this paragraph. It's not like an essay or this big paper that someone would write in college on time travel, but yet is still gives enough information and is still engaging. So that's what we're trying to work out right now. So we gave him a whole bunch of notes, which I agreed with all of it. It's just really tricky for me because I'm the kind of person that would sit and watch a TED talk and have no problem. I'd sit there and enjoy the whole bit. But not everyone's like me, so we got to cut it down. I asked this on Twitter and got a few responses. Okay, I'm assuming not me. Even one from Matt Mercer. Ooh, very good. The Merce. I don't think anyone calls him the Merce. If I ever meet him, I'm absolutely calling him the Merce. What's up, the Merce? He's gonna be like, what? But what would be a good pick for a $400 to $500 interface? You got a lot of options. There are some outstanding options within that price range. Personally, I think, now this is just me. There's a lot of people that would disagree. I like mixers. I like mixer interfaces, ones that have USB in the back, can actually connect to your PC. And I like ones that have compression built in, that have like a knob, not built in where you can't change it, but has a knob and has a whole suite of not really effects, because you're not really going to be using the effects, but a whole suite of EQ and compression and all that kind of stuff. And within that price range, you can find some really, really good ones. I'd say Yamaha is a very good option, mostly because one of my goals is to kind of build a studio, build a space that I can record multiple people. It's also something that I'm working on with this project. I want to record with multiple people at one time, especially when there's a lot of like playing off of each other. There's a lot of energy, and the comedy is kind of based on dialogue. So it's kind of tricky. But having a mixer with multiple channels, especially one that works with a particular DAW that we can actually record each channel into a different channel, is probably what you want. Now, a lot of people go with the daisy chained kind of, like, you got a compressor, you got a noise gate, you got a interface, you got amplifier, you got de-esser. There's a lot of studios that have that kind of thing where it's just this rack of things, and a mixer is kind of a lot of those things just combined. That's what I prefer. That's me. I like it just because I know how to use all the channels. And, if you can do it right, then even if you were to be needing to send something straight out to a client, if you have like a little bit of compression, a little bit of EQ already on it, and it's a clean environment, it's a clean, it's got clean preamps in it, then you can basically just send it right out. You don't got to do anything else to it. Just cut it and send it. If you get just a designated interface like the Focusrite series, then it doesn't have any EQ, doesn't have any compression, it doesn't have anything like that. So you'd probably still have to do something with it. That's my long-winded answer. But for that price range, you got a lot of really good options. I would personally say look into some Yamaha mixers. I'm just trying to upgrade mine and asking everyone. Yeah. That's what I'd say. However, I will say this. Only don't spend all of that money. Only spend what you need. And try to spend more of that money on treatment. Try to spend more of that on, you know, the acoustics and trying to block out sound, that's going to be way more valuable. But for, I mean, for a good chunk of that, you can still get a good interface. Alaran. I think you've shown up before, but I still don't know how to say that. Alaran? I'm assuming that's Alaran. Says hello, and I say hello back. Call Sweetwater, ask for Jason. Yes. Oh, that's actually a good point. Yes, you can absolutely call Sweetwater. They're actually really, really cool. I've gotten some stuff from Sweetwater. The one thing I kind of don't like is the candy, because most of it I'm just like, I don't eat this. I don't eat the I don't like sour candies. I don't like the incredibly sweet stuff. But yeah, they're really, really cool. They even though I don't think I've bought anything from them in like 6-8 years, they still email me every now and then saying if there's anything that I need. They're really, really cool. And when I bought I bought a used, what was it? It was a Blue Spark, the orange Blue Spark, which I love that mic. Absolutely love that mic. To this day, it's probably one of the ones that sounds the best for me. And they it went out, and they sent me a replacement, another used one, and I think that one went out, and then I think they sent me a brand new one, and then that one had the exact same problem. Apparently, there was something wrong with the capsule, and I just kept having the same issue where the capsule kept going out, and it would have this kind of. It almost sounded like it was underwater. It was almost like the capsule was ripping, and so it wasn't clear. It was very muddy, and that kept happening. So I just, whatever. But they were awesome. Sending me new ones and replacements and trying to work with me. So yeah, Sweetwater's always great. It was really cool. Scarlett, good products. I assume products. Producer. I'm assuming. He's saying that the Scarlett, the Focusrite Scarlett stuff is pretty good, and I agree, it is. I think it might be a little overrated, but just because I hear too many people like basically preaching on the line, and I'm not brand loyal. I really don't care, but I mean, their stuff is good. That's it. Their stuff is good. Their mics are meh, but their stuff's good. Yeah, Matt Mercer said he used a Focusrite Scarlett. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a reliable name brand, trusted. A lot of voice actors use them. Clean audio, clean preamps, plug and play. Yeah, you could do worse. I got my Neumann mic from Sweetwater. Also, I love the candy. Well, enjoy it. A lot of people say my name wrong, but that's okay. It's pronounced Al. Oh, Al. Al-Aran? Alaran? Is that closer? I hope that's closer. Get commercial sound reduction blankets on Amazon. That's always a good option. Oh, Harlan Hogan? Oh, Harlan Hogan. Yeah. Sells great product. Yeah. I don't know. It kind of depends on your situation. Kind of depends on what you're recording in, what your space is. But generally speaking, yeah, that's good advice. I can get into the booth, or I can hang out here. I mean, you can get into the booth and participate in the booth. I don't know. I got a screen, and all the stuff in my booth. So I don't know. That's exactly that. Perfect. Thank you. Great customer service. Boys are in California. Yeah. I assume we're still talking about Sweetwater, unless we're talking about Happy Hogan, Harl Hogan, Harlan Hogan. Let me know which one. But yeah, so I did some comedy yesterday. The type of gig that I normally wouldn't do. It was essentially there was no stage, there was no mic. It was just a room of a lot of adults sitting in chairs, and the mic. They did have like a PA system or a mic system, and it just wasn't working. So me and the other two comics, we just we just projected. I actually had my microphone and cable with me. I normally bring it just in case. Every now and then, there's been situations where like there's been a problem with the people's mic, or there's been a problem with the cable, or this and that, and I normally bring it anyway. And so, so I just held it. It wasn't plugged in, didn't do anything, and I just held it because I'm just used to that. I normally do stand up like facing this corner, holding a mic with a cable in it, just so I'm very comfortable, and I know basically how to pantomime with this prop essentially. So, yeah, but it went over well, and that was kind of like the last gig before the 26th, which is kind of a big gig that I'm not enthusiastic about, not optimistic, because it's in a city that I've always bombed, and even with my best jokes, and essentially some of them were even like the same jokes that I did that yesterday, that I've just gotten better, and that have worked pretty much everywhere. They're jokes that pretty much worked in every audience, and but there's just one city that has ever worked. They've always like just upset for no reason. I don't get it. So I'm not enthusiastic about it, but I'm going because it's a pretty good paycheck. Let's see. Tim, like you say, it's not about the mic. Yes, that is true. It is not about the mic. It is more about the treatment, is more about the environment and the acoustics, more so than the mic. There's been tons of people who've covered that. Mike Delgadio has a great video on it. I love that man. I've done some videos on that. There's been some mics that I've actually been able to mix some of my audio with higher budget mics, and there was a period when I couldn't use any XLR microphone because I didn't have an interface at the time, and so I actually had to use a $60 to $80 USB mic, and because I knew how to tweak it and sweeten it, it all sounded fine. So, let's see. I emailed you a question a while ago, but I'm not sure if you saw it. I don't remember. I cleared out my closet, and I ended up with an area of 26 by 37 inches. I don't know. I don't know why I can't do that math in my head. It's so easy, and I can't do it. I don't know why. I'm like, how much is that? It's like 2 by 3. A little bit over. Is it big enough? Or should I make a DIY booth? I would definitely say that, again, it depends on the microphone that you have, and it kind of depends on the treatment. And it kind of depends on it depends on a lot of things. It's not as easy. This is one of the reasons why my channel has become so focused on just sharing information and testing out mics and putting together random. Oh, thanks, by the way. Thank you very much. Keep up the content. Thank you. That means a lot. Stay tuned for some more stuff. But yeah, so everyone's situation is different. Everyone's voice is different. Everyone's living situation is different, which is very important. Everyone's budget is different. And the kind of voiceover that people are getting into or wanting to go to is also very different. Obviously, most everyone wants to get into animation, video game, and cartoon and stuff like that. That's the fun stuff. I don't blame you. But each section of voiceover has a different list of requirements. For audiobook, it's pretty much. I'm not going to say that audiobook is not high tier, it's not professional, or it's not none of that. It's just that when it comes to audiobook, people are way more forgiving. You can do audiobook on a handheld dynamic microphone. As long as it's, again, very clean. When it comes to doing commercial, you can kind of get away with not having perfect treatment. But when it comes to character work, it has to be a really good mic, and it doesn't have to be super expensive, but it has to be a really good mic, and it has to be really good treatment because you're going to be going through a full range. So it kind of depends on what you're going into. Um, if you're just doing character, or if you're just doing commercial or audiobook, that might actually be enough space as long as everything else around you is treated. Um, if it's if you're trying to get into character work, that might not be enough space. Uh, you're definitely going to want to. So let's say it's a closet space, and you can't close the door for whatever reason. You need to treat the room adjacent or outside of the closet, that the room that the closet is in. You have to treat that because you're not going to be able to isolate it, and so it's going to be bouncing all over the place. So you need to make sure when it comes to character work, video game and cartoon, you have to be able to scream and not be able to hear the room. That's the rule. Is if you want to get into character work, you have to be able to whisper with clean audio and be able to yell without hearing the room. Again, with clean audio, without peaking. If you can do those two things and no one can hear what kind of room it's in, there's no reverb, there's no echo, there's no noise, that's your goal. So that's why character work is often the hardest. Yes, it is the most fun, but it's the most technically challenging. So it may be enough room, maybe not. I would still say probably start looking into building a booth. I have a video on building a PVC booth. Like it's like an hour and 50 minutes. It's not a perfect how-to, but it will give you some ideas. So look for that video. I don't remember what it's called, but it's like DIY booth, PVC booth or something like that. You'll see it. Basically just type in booth on, in the search term of my channel, and you should find it. That one should help you out a lot. That's probably going to be the direction you want to go. So I've seen a lot of your videos on this topic, but what's some good advice for making a demo? Okay, so this is actually something I've been telling a lot of people pretty recently because it seems to be working for them. My thing is, so when it comes to a demo, the biggest thing is the writing, because you want it to be written and produced like it's an actual project. Does that make sense? So you want a demo to showcase. So a demo is a lie, and everybody knows a demo is a lie. But a demo should give people the idea of this is what you'd sound like in this kind of project. So it needs really good writing to actually sound like it's part of that kind of project. Now, for me, being the fact that I'm a writer and I'm an actor, I've been doing this stuff for a long time, I'm really good at writing the dialogue. That's not a problem for me. But for a lot of people, it's not. It's not easy to write dialogue, especially to make it sound convincing and make it sound unique and a lot more fun and engaging. So my suggestion is we're going to assume this is character animation video game. Make sure that you're signed up for castingcall.club. And no, that's not my cat. It's just a stranger's cat. No, it's my cat now. A friend of mine, Marissa Falsone, she's actually on one of the voice actors for the audiobook of The Black Dress. She just kind of just let the cat into my house, and she was like, "You have a cat now." And so I didn't want to look like an asshole in front of her, so I was like, "All right, fine." And so I was trying to find the cat a home, but eventually we couldn't find anyone to take the cat. And he's a pretty chill, pretty sweet cat. So my allergies aren't flaring up that bad. So we're just gonna keep the cat. Anyway, so making your own yeah, exactly. So making your own demo, the easiest way to do it when you're not good at writing is to have an account with castingcall.club and various other free platforms where you can actually audition. And then take your best auditions and cut those together and basically make a demo. Then you're going to want to put one layer of sound effects and one layer of music behind each one. unique per bit, but you're going to want to, add something to it. But the reason I say this is because these are, number one, these are all written. These are actual projects. Most of them are written pretty well, as if they're paying. If they're just the free projects, kind of hit or miss. And they are ones that you did do your best. You tried to do your best because it was an actual paying gig that you really wanted. Whether you got the gig or not, take those bits, cut them up, and put them, together. And you'll probably want about 7 or 8 individual segments, plus maybe an intro, and then put music and sound effects behind them. And that's probably the easiest way to make your first free demo. That's what I would recommend. That's what I would suggest. When it comes to doing things like audiobook, basically just all you're going to do is you're just going to take a book that you like, you're going to read it, and you're going to have like about 5 minutes. Audiobook demos are really long. And then it's just going to be you reading, and then just cut out the breaths. You don't got to put any music. You don't got to do a lot to it. People just want to hear you read. Commercial is halfway between that and character. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. Is your book done? Oh, yes. We're talking about... A second. I don't know if this is the good one. Should be. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah. This one? Yes, it is, actually. So is the audiobook. So is the ebook. It's taking a while to show up on some platforms, but it should be, all versions of it should be out. You should be able to find it now pretty easily. So yeah, there you go. It's I kind of don't like talking about it because I spent like 4 months writing it and talking about it, and now I'm like kind of tired. But yeah, it's out on almost every platform. I'm very proud of the audiobook. I'm very proud of that because I didn't really have any good audiobooks that I've done in the past. But due to the fact that this was one that I actually wrote and I feel like it's written well, I'm proud of the audiobook. And there's Marissa Falsone and Marissa Duran. I don't remember her name, but yeah, there's some really great voice acting on the audiobook, and the book itself turned out pretty good. I liked it. It's a little pocket novel. Most people said that they read it in a day, read it in an evening, but those people are like big readers anyway, so I don't know what the average person would read it. But there you go. Let's see. Great question. Big Apple voiceover rebook status. Yeah, I assume that's it. Oh, dang, Mr. Tim, your hair. That's the voice I'm going to do. Dang, Mr. Tim, your hair is absolutely flowing. I mean, I wouldn't say flowing. I mean, it's really curly. It's definitely what is it? Nicolas Cage in Con Air. It's very much, especially in this, it's very much I said don't touch the bunny. Whatever. It's very much that. But yeah, it's getting pretty long, and I kind of like it. It gets in the way sometimes, but I don't know. It's nice. My goal is actually to donate it. That's why I'm growing it out. Before all my hair starts falling out, I want to say that I did that. So I can say, well, at least I got to donate my hair. Is that your cat? That's already answered that one. Porta booth plus vocal booth regular. I don't know. Is that a question? Apparently, I think there's an emoji that got copyright, copy striked or whatever. I don't know what that is. No opinion. I would say, okay, so actually, so let's say the porta booth things, those ones that like fold out. I don't like those things. I really don't like those things. That's I don't like them. They just don't serve enough of a function. They don't serve enough of a purpose. And for the stuff that I do, they really don't treat enough of the audio. So let's see. I was literally about to read that one, and you took it away from me. Is it because I already answered it? Are you ashamed? Don't be ashamed. That's my cat now. Yeah. Go to voiceover essentials. Voiceover essentials. Is that a website? For what? Go to voiceover essentials for what? For what thing? Is that in response to the redacted message? I assume. Don't skip on tour demo. Don't skip on tour demo. You will have only one chance to make a good impression. Oh, don't skimp on your demo. Gotcha. Yes and no. It depends on. So if you're trying to get an agent, absolutely not. Don't skimp. Don't cut corners. Don't send an agent or a major studio your self-made demos. Your self-made demos are for when you're putting stuff on Fiverr, or you're putting stuff on voices.com, or you're putting stuff on Bidalgo or castingcall.club, when you're basically doing all freelance. When you're going to be getting an actual agent or trying to take it all very seriously, definitely, try to get help. But I have a video coming up talking about, so I got a $1,500 demo, two demos, essentially $750 each, done for me by a professional. And I don't think it's worth it, but I'm gonna have the video up. You guys can judge. I compare it to my demos, the demos that I made, versus a industry professional. I'm just gonna assume that everything they did is absolutely correct. And so that was the video that was going to be up today, but I was tired and I just didn't get to it in time. So there you go. Yeah. Can't with you, Tim. Ha 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 ha. Okay. No, I typed. Oh, I typed it wrong. Oh, okay. Cool. Buy a portal booth. Oh, at VO Essentials. Oh, okay, okay. Then I do know who you're talking about. Right. I don't know which booth you're talking about, but a lot of those like booth kits, I guess that's what they'd be called. A lot of those are actually really, really good. I'd say that those are pretty good. The guys that actually put those together are outstanding. Like the Porta Booth ones brand. I think it's a brand. Those are actually really, really good. I will say it's cheaper to make it yourself. However, if you don't know what you're doing, it could just be better to just buy it. So you always have your options. Okay. Oh, here is what I was trying to ask. How much would I have to pay for a 15-second script? Okay. For a character demo, it really depends on who you're going to. That's okay. So here's one thing. You can't just go to someone if it's for your character demo script. You can't just go to someone and say, type me something. They have to know you. They have to do a one-on-one. They have to so anytime someone has come to me and I've made someone a demo for them, I have to have some one-on-one time. We got to go over their acting, their experience, if their range as far as like both acting and voices, and then we'll kind of pick what their best personalities or their best characters, and then we write stuff based on that and kind of the demographic and the kind of market they're going for. That's kind of basically how that. So you can't really go to someone and have them just type anything up for you. If you're gonna do that, just go and find scripts online. So basically, it's an entire process. It's not just going and asking someone on Fiverr to write a screenplay for you. It's not that easy. I really wish it was. Really wish I could give you a much easier answer. Chuck Duran, the top demo guy. He is the top demo guy. I really want at some point in time one demo made by the guy. Every demo that he's made is outstanding. Is it appropriately priced? I don't know, but it would be really fun. It's kind of like it's just a novelty of saying I have a Chuck Duran demo. But yeah, guys like top tier, guys S tier when it comes to like demo production. Yeah. Make your own demo was a great experience. Oh, making your own demo was a great experience, and I was able to get Fiverr work with it. Oh, okay. Well, good. I'm assuming you mean the series of videos that I did on the topic. Yeah. I was asking you since you're a writer. Okay, asking me. Gotcha. Okay. So say 15 seconds. So I'm trying to calculate the words. Because there's kind of more or less a system. So at the average speaking speed and volume, volume is not really important, but the average speaking speed, I think it's 150 is just shy of a minute. I think 150 words is just shy of a minute. So I don't know. That'd have to be one-on-one. That'd have to be one. It's such a small niche amount. And I don't have my writing rates in front of me. Just because I haven't charged for that kind of thing in a long time. I will say this. I normally charge about $200 to $300 to do a commercial and a character demo. Most people just come to me for character demo, and so that'd be about 200, and that includes basically be 100 for the writing. That's the full minute, and then 100 for the production, essentially. So if we're looking at a minute, man, you're making me do math in my head. Oh, fine. We're going to get out the calculator. Can't believe you're making me do this. So 60 seconds divided by 15. So we're going to divided by 4. There it goes. $25. If I had to throw out a number, $25. That would still mean that we would have to talk in person and figure out what kind of bit you're doing. However, that would be basically 15 seconds is essentially 2 voices, is essentially 2 bits, more or less. Very complicated, but very interesting question. Very interesting question. Oralex is a very expensive, used commercially sound, reduced blankets. I mean, yeah, Oralex is pretty expensive. I mean, you could also just use moving blankets. So the problem with that is, so Oralex foam is for sound treatment. The moving blankets are more for soundproofing. Even though nothing can actually be soundproof, so there are materials for blocking sound from getting out and getting in, and there's materials that are for like that the stuff on the wall. Because of its wavy form, what it does is it breaks up the waves, the sound waves, and instead of them bouncing back straight at you, they kind of break off in a shotgun effect, and so you don't get these standing waves. You don't get this immediate bounce back. They kind of go out and they dissipate, and it breaks down. However, if you put just a moving blanket there, it's still going to bounce back because it's a flat surface. But what it will do is it will prevent noise from getting from one side of the wall to the other, or at least a little bit better. So they have 2 different functions. What I would say is instead of going for Oralex, which I think is like pretty top tier acoustic foam company, definitely go for like Foam Factory. It's pretty inexpensive. You can still get the same. I think that's where I got all of this foam. All of my foam is from Foam Factory, which is, I think, on average, $1 per case, less expensive than going to like Amazon or something like that. I think I don't remember what it was. It was a significant amount that tallied up would eventually um, would eventually make up. I am a voice actor. Uh, I've been told living in California would be a plus. Is that true? Not anymore. If this was like 10 years ago, maybe. But so before COVID happened, there was still some people that were still going into studios and going into other people's recording spaces. But now it's pretty much unanimously agreed on that every voice actor needs their own recording space. Um, and that's kind of what you're saying. People that have their own recording space are getting the majority of the work. And so I actually have recently I got representation in LA and they're sending me auditions for stuff in LA and I can record it in my space. And the only thing is, some clients will ask that I have like an ISDN or IPDTL or Source Connect or something like that, and then I can just connect with them. That's it. And I have great internet. I upgraded my internet, so that kind of connection is not a problem. And the majority of my work is actually in Japan, Singapore, and overseas. So the majority of my work has nothing to do with location. Nobody even cares that I'm in Austin, Texas. Nobody cares. I work with people all over the place. And I'd say that's the majority of the stuff. Now, when it comes to bigger productions, bigger like SAG work, like Screen Actors Guild stuff, there's probably a lot of people that are going to still insist that you record in their space. So it depends, but over 90% of the work that you can actually get as a character voice actor is not going to be through major studios. Most of that is going to be through the smaller studios or independents. And so I would say the majority of the work, you can make a pretty good living off, always recording in your own space, living pretty much in whatever city that you want. And it's also very hard to kind of break into the industry in California. So your better shot is establishing yourself in whatever city that you're in and doing as much work, getting a outstanding resume to the point that they want you, rather than you going and begging. Because also California is really expensive to live in right now. So unless you had guaranteed work, it's not really worth it. So I'd say no overall. That's just my opinion, though. Some people may know better. I have lived in California and I have visited California with the intent of, should I move here? And it was very much not advantageous for me. Hi, I figured when I'm competing with bigger players, I'll upgrade my demo and my chain. Okay. But right now, my mic, yep, great mic. Moving blankets, totally fine. And Behringer mixer, depends on which one. Interface, work for me. Yeah, totally fine. Yeah, I would say always have your goal, however, should be to have kind of a little savings off to one side, kind of ready to go with those kind of upgrades in mind, so that if opportunity does come, you're immediately able to address that. Don't just have like nothing set aside for it and no idea what you do with it. You kind of want to be ready. So, GGG, thanks for the answers, the questions. I hope all of you are great night. Well, bye. Good night. You're probably already gone by this point, but if you see this later, ciao. Oh. Oh. They tried to flag that, but I'm going to let that ride. Thank you. Do you have any advice for breathing and pacing with line delivery? Yes. In all things, breathe naturally. It's very common, very, very common for voice actors to try to take in a huge breath and then try to get through everything on that one breath. And that it's not natural, it's uncomfortable, it doesn't sound right. You're going to start out very high energy and it's going to audibly sound it just dips off. It just crashes at the very end. So just breathe where you need to breathe. The only breaths that you actually need to cut out will technically be the breath at the beginning, that breath that you take in before you go, that kind of at the beginning, and then any breath just at the very end. Those are the only ones you really have to cut out. Anything in between is totally fine to leave there, especially when it comes to doing character work, because how a character breathes and when they breathe is also very important to the kind of performance, to the emotion that they're giving off. So there's a lot of people that I see cutting out, and I used to do this as well, cutting out all the breaths. Totally unnecessary. Don't worry about it. Breathe naturally. Just, as if you're just talking to somebody. Just breathe naturally. It's going to sound way better. You're going to be more comfortable. You're going to have more energy. You're going to have lungs full of air, and you're going to be able to deliver a better performance for either the audition or the gig. All right, let's see. Hey buddy, howdy. I know you probably responded or typed that in a long time ago, and I didn't get to it now. Howdy, how are you? Specific commercial reduction, not moving blankets, CMB. I don't know what the abbreviation is. Call my bluff. Carrots make blind less. I'm really terrible at these. But yes, there's a huge difference between the kind of blankets that you're talking about. I would still say that they're not specifically designed for deflection, but they are definitely way better than just moving blankets, just flat moving blankets. So yes, that is absolutely true. All right. Upgrade plans. Rest assured that stash is okay. Good. Hold on to that. Thanks a lot for the advice. My pleasure. Who is the handsome man? I have no idea. You're gonna have to tell me because I don't see anyone. Leave that there. It's totally fine. I'm gonna try to do another live stream tomorrow. Just because, again, this was really late. I don't advertise these. My goal is absolutely to upload videos, but I regularly can't for whatever reason. My life has just been really crazy, and so it's just chaos. It's just absolutely chaos. But it's kind of slowing down because I've kind of gotten caught up with one client. Essentially, I think I have one more thing to do for them. But Rob, who is Rob? Rob the robot? Was it Bob the robot? Was it Rob? I think it was Rob. Whatever happened to Earl Hall on the VO? Whatever happened to Earl Hall on the VO? I don't know. All I know is that he used to have like a studio, and then he kind of moved everything to his house, and he's kind of focused more on. I think he focuses more on the live streams more than I do. I don't know. We haven't really, haven't really been following what he's up to. But I don't know. I don't know if he's doing more reviews than I am. I know that there's a lot of companies that have stopped contacting me to do microphone reviews because I gave them an honest review and they didn't like that. So I don't know. Who else? Hall tries too hard. Yeah. He had a website for everyone's. Wait, what? He had a website for every idea he had. Oh, gotcha. Okay, gotcha. I see what you're saying. Yeah. He was kind of and still is kind of the throw shit at the wall, see what sticks kind of thing. I think it's too much. I tried tackling a whole lot of things. I tried tackling a whole extra slew of stuff that I really didn't need to. Um, I mean, like, even just on this channel, I used to try to do writing Wednesdays where I would just talk about writing, but no one really cared, so I stopped that. Moved the Let's Plays over to a different channel. Not a huge focus on that, just because it's not really profitable, and it was really just kind of an opportunity for me to kind of unwind and a reason for me to sit down and play games with friends and family. But haven't really had the opportunity lately. But yeah, he tried to take on a lot of things. I do know that there was a period when he wanted to do kind of this big webinar series or whatever, and he was trying to get me involved to cover character work, and I told him that I would, but nothing ever came of that, and that was kind of the last I'd ever really communicated with Earl. I don't know. I'm sure someone out there has more answers on Earl than I do, um, but yeah, I think he focuses more on marketing, kind of like Bill DeWeese. Bill DeWeese is really good on marketing. Yeah, that's it. Mm, mm, mm. Ugh. Mm. Sorry. Did a whole bunch of yelling, recording yelling, and then when I did stand up, it was just all yelling. So my hair is all tangly. Ah. I do not care. Like, I have a brush. I don't use it. My hair's just like a mess. Yeah, I'm probably gonna leave this open a little bit longer for any more questions. And then I'll probably just sign out, and then I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll try to get to some editing sometime soon. I also, this was an idea. There was some 1-minute fan dubs that I had taken out all of the voiceover. I'd taken out all the audio completely, and I had added the music and sound effects back in with the idea that I was going to dub over them. But there were some of them that I just didn't really feel comfortable about uh, doing the voice. Like, I just didn't really get it. Didn't really feel like me. So if I launch the Discord group, there may be stuff like that that I'll put up there that if other people want to, have fun with it, they could probably do that. I may do stuff like that, but I don't know. It was just an idea. Well, I should go make a little like a little scratch in the booth. Yep. Great hanging out with you all. Well, thank you. And remember, you want to do audiobooks, be ready, bit of the grind. Yeah. Well, for the most part, I'm only going to do my audiobooks. But yeah. Bye, Rob. See ya. Bye later. Um, you can bet I'll be on Discord. Okay, good. Have a good one, Rob. Everybody's saying goodnight. Everyone's saying goodbye. Very, very lovely. Very, very wonderful group. Very, very sweet. Yeah, go check out his movie reviews. Some of those have been really funny. I kind of wanted to do more movie reviews, but my stuff was always ranting and incredibly aggressive. There was a lot of movies that I had seen that I was like really not happy with. So I was like, I don't know. I don't know if I should do that. I don't know if we need any more angry reviewers. That was for anyone considering audiobooks. I learned from you. Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, it's a grind. It absolutely is a grind. It is an insufferable, well, not insufferable, but it took me a long time. It took me almost as much time to record it record it right as it did to write it. We got to have you back on the show, and I'd be happy to come back. I'd be happy to come back. Just let me know. So, yeah. All right. Well, good night, Rob. Let's see. What else? What was I going to talk about? I really should write this stuff down. It's just chaos. Like, I was more prepared today after the writing, but then there was like someone from like the Census Bureau that stopped by, wanted to ask me all these questions. which is really kind of funny because they're like, "Oh, what do you do for a living?" I was like, "Ugh, I hate this question. This is gonna be a nightmare." I was like, I'm a voice actor." "Okay, so what do you do?" "I voice act. I act with my voice. That's what I do. Put that down. Write that down. Put it in the system." Um, she's like, "So what would you describe yourself?" "A contractor." "Fine." I always hate that kind of stuff because it's like it's they always ask like questions that are specifically designed for people that have like a day job, and it's like you can't answer that when it comes to like you can't answer that accurately when it comes to like what's it's like how much do you make? I'm like, oh, I don't know. I don't know. Put I don't know on everything. I don't know on everything and walk away. Just stop asking questions. um great workout virtual training for us folks who are stuck in the booth all day. What is great workout? Not talking about me, are you? I mean, I do work out. This disgustingness takes a lot of effort. Takes a lot of effort to keep looking the horrible way that it is. So I don't know if you're talking about me. um, but if you're talking about like my advice when it comes to voice acting and all the stuff that I provide there, I hope it has been helpful. Um, and don't think of it as being stuck in the booth because you can walk out at any time. Think of it as like you want to be there. This is a lot of fun. It's what you enjoy doing. Um, yeah, I didn't really have um much else to talk about. If there's no more questions, I'm probably just gonna end this here, and then y'all see me tomorrow, hopefully. And also hopefully I'll have some videos up. One of them should be covering anime. There's someone who kind of I have a reaction video of someone kind of talking about anime. That's pretty much all I'll say. That one should be coming out after the next one, but yeah, it's gonna be it. So yeah, if there's no more questions. I'd like to thank you guys for stopping by. If y'all want the book, The Black Dress, basically you can just type in The Black Dress plus Timothy Banfield and you will find it. It should be everywhere. I don't know if it should be on Audible, it should be on audiobooks.com. It's on Amazon. You can get the paperback, I believe, on Amazon. Uh Smashword. Smashword, I think, has the ebook. It's just all over the place. It's all over the place. Next book I do is going to be a little bit more streamlined. It's going to be a little bit less chaotic, but you can definitely go get that. Yeah, there you go. So, thank you guys, and I guess I will catch you guys later. So, peace.